All right, greetings, dear Libra. This one is for you. That's you. This is Tarot Illumination. This is our general mini kind of spiritual broad spectrum report for June 2018. We're going to use a Journey of the Heart spread. You'll see in a moment in the heart core energy at the very center. All right. Without that, there is nothing. Whole idea is that you, Libra, listen to what your heart is telling you. Okay, and then go from there. Before we get into it, I want to share with you some astrobabble that I've been sharing with everybody else. The thing is, Libra, in some ways, you're not getting any heavy direct hits because there's nothing directly in Libra right now for most of June, except for the moon period. I'll show you that in just a second. So I'm just going to give you the same dates that I shared with everybody else because this is the same weather for everybody, whatever it is. However you deal with it, that's your business. I'm just offering this as a bit of, backup. So these are calendar dates, okay? Significant calendar dates from the perspective of Tarot Illumination. Early on in the month, we got this big fat Pisces Cancer water trine. That's very, very supportive, nourishing energy with the water signs. That's good for everybody, depending how you make use of it. Also, coming on the back of that, we have the Cancer-Capricorn opposition right in the middle, which takes this big grand trine and turns it into a big fat spiritual kite. It's beautiful. We can gain so much from this if you're aware that it's there. This is such good energy that you might just take it for granted and you think, oh, wow, it's a great day. Wow, thank you. Please understand how valuable this is, okay? Next thing going through, let's see, hard square Gemini Pisces on the 6th, June 10th. So these are the dates that I've got here. The key thing about this month is kind of in the middle section. We've got these heavy squares, heavy T squares, and some heavy squares, okay? The squares are between the fixed signs, mostly Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio in one form or another. And it's very choppy, challenging energy, especially this combination here early on where Mars is in Aquarius and Taurus is in Uranus, both in very early degrees. So it's like very volatile, combative energy where it's easy to fly off the handle. It's easy to be rash, make irrational decisions, acting impulsively, speaking before you think, where it's better sometimes to think before you speak. Sometimes it's better to listen. However it works for you. I'm just pointing out the challenge. I'm not getting into the deep astrology here, okay? Now this big trine here is kind of on and off pretty much the whole month. So you might as well make the best of it. It's just like having gorgeous weather for almost a month. So right at the end, everything's going to start, the sun and other planets are going to start moving into Cancerian energy. So this shift will change. But the key thing for you that I'm going to point out for you specifically, Libra, these would be your trigger dates, especially June 20th and June 21st. Just please pay attention around those dates because the moon is in Libra. And sometimes that can give the feeling of doubt and insecurities of wherever it's happening at that time. And it's going to be in very hard squares with the Cancer-Capricorn opposition. This thing here. Where is the other one? It's here as well, okay? And also at the same time, there's kind of what's called an out of sign opposition, where around the 22nd, the moon is going to be almost directly opposite Uranus, but it'll effectively be a hard square, a hard opposition. So you might feel that too. So these are the dates that I would pinpoint for you, okay? I know this is kind of a mess, but if you want to, you can do the replays and the rewinds and, get the exact information there. I have to keep going, all right? So let's get back to the cards. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. There's not enough time or space or room, and I love the cards the way they are. Please, 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 please. Also, Libra, this is a team effort. Tarot Illumination brings in spirit guides and interns and angels and all of that. Please bring yours in too and make it a group experience. It's much more valuable and it's more fun too. even though it's one-on-one. Just pretend this is a private reading. Here's Tarot Illumination for you, and there's you there, Libra, okay? Also watch for your sun, moon, and rising, especially if each one is different, if you know about those things. Get help if you don't, okay? Or you can write to tarotillumination.com and get some help there, all right? So let's get into it. We might as well just get rolling now. Anything could happen, okay? Forget the planets. Anything and everything can happen. To me personally, the biggest theme for right now is the ingress of Uranus into Taurus, which is life-changing for all of us. But it's very deep and it's slow. It's a 7-year journey. We're still at the gateway period with Uranus around 0 degrees. So you might not even know it's happening, all right, Libra? But anyway, it's happening. Cards are done. Cards are shuffled. Let's cut it. Let's bless this reading, okay? Here we go. Bless this reading. Look at that. It's shouting to me, take those 3. So that's what we're going to do. That's what I did, just for you. All right, here we go. This is your heart energy, deep at the core. The heart knows what it needs, knows what it wants. It's up to you, Libra, to listen and nurture and love and support your heart, because the heart does that for you. Let's make it a fair and balanced exchange. That's your world, Libra. Okay? If there's a huge discrepancy between your egoic waking self and what your heart is saying, that is a big wake-up call that it's time to pay attention. So over here, legacy energy, what are you bringing in with you? Stress, pain, suffering, joy, confusion, curiosity, whatever it might be. Deep desires, deep fears, whatever they might be, we're just going to deal with it as it comes up. Over here is the energy of the ever-present now, which is where you own your power. A lot of people don't like to be there because it means you have to be present. You have to be grounded, conscious, right here. It's like being an artist totally in the zone where time doesn't exist. It's hard to be like that all day, every day, especially if we're consumed by things like activities, careers, chores, tasks, responsibilities, burdens, or distractions that we sometimes impose on ourselves, even if they're very, very, very effective, like optical illusions, anything to keep us out of the present, because often in the present is where we discover a lot of things that we don't want to know. We have to be very, very acutely aware at those times. So it's easy to rest on the past and use that as a template for the future, anything to avoid the now. But that is where we own our power. So you might as well get into it and get used to it. And how do we do that? You do that through using the phenomenon of decision making. It's a powerful tool. It's a gift to humanity that we are lucky that we can kind of override our autonomic behaviors, and we can make conscious, deliberate decisions that go counterintuitive to our egoic selves. And instead, we honor our heart and like a bigger picture from the perspective of love and healing. And that can be very difficult to do sometimes. So how do you do that effectively? Okay, so here you are. Let's just say you're in your power and you're making the conscious decisions to love thyself. Loving thyself is what's best for you, what's best for your loved ones and the world around you. How do you do that effectively? Okay, and in so doing, creating consequences. If you're one of the people who outsources all your decisions and happiness and everything to something or someone or everything else, like careers, friends, family, childhood conditioning, expectations, culture, religion, whatever it is, you can feel like everything's fated and you don't have a lot of say in anything. Who knows what it might be? You could call that fate. But if you want, you can tune into your power by being very present, and then all of this changes specifically for loving thyself. So what happens if you're having a rough day, or you're absent, or you're just negligent, or you're self-destructive and it's working against you, or you're working against yourself? What does that look like? What does it look like when you are in the zone? You're, let's just say, fully aware of all these planet things that we talked about, subconsciously. You know how blessed and fortunate things are out there right now. You also know that there are very serious riptides and undercurrents that can work against you, but you keep going anyway. How do you do that? What are the prospects here? What happens if you get it right? That's what that looks like when you learn how to surf and you know how to surf, knowing of the dangers and the risks. This is the reward. Over here, prospects and momentum, okay? To the next beat of the heart. There is the heart, that's your auric heart here, and there's the heart at the core, pulsing, pulsing, nourishing you. Please nourish your heart. The heart is also taking away all the waste that you don't need anymore and putting it through the waste system. Circumstantial energy, the weather, what's going on, Libra? Okay, Ace of Cups. Wow. Maybe you're just swimming in it. Maybe you've got some kind of secret formula. Maybe it's time for you to wake up to the healing power of love. Maybe you already know it's there. Maybe you know that love and healing is yours by right, and now is your time. Thank you very much. Maybe it's already there and you're dazzled by all of this. Like, do I really deserve all this? Is this really mine? This is a card of sacred opportunity. This card wouldn't be here in your circumstances, your weather around you, unless you'd worked for it or deserved it. So you must be at the right place at the right time with the right reason, with the right people, for the right purposes, some way, somehow. The question is, are you aware? Are you aware? Because this is so fleeting. It's just like weather. If you don't grab it and make the best of it, it's gone. All right. Let's have a look. What's going on at the core heart of you? Okay, let's just say a little bit of a work in progress. Maybe you're having a gentle month right now. You know, with the Gemini energy, that's very supportive for you. Let's say you click. Let's say you don't care about any of this kind of stuff. You just want a nice reading. Tell me something nice, Tarot Illumination, or tell me all the horrible things that I know I have to know about so that I can get on with my life. Well, that's kind of what we're doing here. All right. It's literally like, you know, you're hanging out with Tarot Illumination now, doing this for your own edification. It's very loving and very healing for you. The whole point behind Tarot Illumination is to, you know, bring love and healing into the world. It's all about the healing power of love. And love is as love does. Love in action, the healing power of love in action. So it becomes a tangible thing, a measurable thing. And you realize that the heart understands this. Like you, Libra, are consciously aware now, or maybe you're becoming consciously aware of what love really is, as opposed to, did you think it was like romance or a concept or something? It's actually a real thing. It is a measurable phenomenon. It is literally like a current, like a flow. And over here in the heart energy, it's just, to me, what this is saying is that maybe it's time that your heart wants to be in alignment with others who know about this stuff in ways that you don't, so that you can learn from them. And whatever's not working in you, they can use you kind of a guinea pig so that they can learn more for themselves. So it becomes a mutually fulfilling relationship here, which is, again, a very much Libra thing. Libra, you're all about relationship. And I see a lot of the energy of relationship here between you and significant others, where you can benefit them and they can benefit you. And your heart is saying, please, please, dear Libra, listen to what I'm saying here. We need to be with our own kind. We need to be with people who are learning and understanding about the healing power of love, just like you. And you want that, you know that, you need that. And I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, Libra, my owner of myself here. We need this. We need to understand this. We need to integrate this into our being. We need to turn this into a work, into a practice and a skill that we can learn together. And as you learn from others, others learn from you. Get it? Get it? So hopefully, Libra, you're listening. All right. What are you bringing in with you over here? Legacy energy. Okay. Well, again, this feels a little bit kind of like fated opportunity. Maybe you don't care too much for these tarot things or the astrology, all this esoteric stuff, and remote healing and holistic healing and things like that. But it looks to me like maybe fate brought you here for a reason. Maybe you're hanging out here with Terra Illumination simply because it's just like maybe it was random distraction. Maybe it was fated. Maybe you're just like thinking, wow, maybe I am supposed to be here. Maybe there is a lot more going on below the surface than I ever imagined. And maybe this is a good thing or a bad thing. It doesn't even matter at the moment. To me, this feels like it's very much to do with the energy of awakening, that big shifts are happening in your life, Libra. If we want to get into the astrology, we could point out that wherever that 0 degree mark is uh, for Uranus and Taurus, that's where you're going to experience big, big shifts and changes in your life, wherever that might be. So we're just saying here to please allow for that. If you want to get into that kind of stuff, you can contact Terra Illumination at terraillumination.com, and we can get into it seriously and properly, okay? But for now, to me, it looks like you're here, like you just literally arrived here, and it's very good for you. And it's just like you're realizing, oh my God, there's other people out there like me who are very curious about this stuff, and you are very like them. And there's like recognition, like, wow, there is like a fated journey going on here. And because it is Uranus and Taurus, and it's such a large uh, shift in energy, it can feel very fated, where it's bigger and above and beyond you. You can't control it, you can't stop it. So you might as well learn and grow and move along with it. And it's going to take us up and down. It's going to be a roller coaster in some ways, up and down. And like there's going to be really challenging moments and really exciting, weird new moments where you might feel literally like you're on a roller coaster. But you have to understand it's supposed to happen that way. Everything is exactly as it should be because it can't be any other way. And even with the Wheel of Fortune, where you might feel as though you have no say in anything at all here, where you're just literally leaning on the fates, that's okay too. That's perfectly allowed, because my feeling is that you'll realize that in some ways it's not fate. It's what I think of as sacred geometry. Without going into deep astrology here, I think of these things as sacred geometry, these beautiful triangles that occur in the heavens as the planets face off with each other, these beautiful, challenging, heavy-duty squares as they face off with each other in very combative angles. You have to understand all these planets have magnetism and energy and gravitational forces, just like the moon. The moon is the obvious one that we can understand because of the oceans and the tides and the planting cycles and women's cycles and things like that. But all the other planets have the same thing going on too, but it happens at deeper and deeper levels, especially when you get out to Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, where you feel like I have no control over this at all. I'm just swept along by fates. Oh no! What about the present, the energy of now? Okay. Well, I see a lot of like the sense of adventure and new adventure unfolding for you, where you can see like, oh my gosh, maybe it's true. I mean, it's weird the way Terra Illumination talks about it, but the opportunity for genuine love, the opportunity for the healing power of love to flow into my life from up above, wow, that's a big deal. Maybe, in fact, you've already got a tiny glimpse of it and you've had a sense of it, kind of like, you know, if you think of Terra Illumination as an extremely upscale VIP boutique hot dog stand, you got a sniff of this stuff and you're liking it. And so you're getting closer and closer, and you're starting to see like consequences of other things that have happened to you in your life before that have drawn you magnetically and mysteriously and fatefully to this very moment right now, where you start to think like, wow, this is so cool. We are embarking on a new adventure here, and you're already getting, just because of the sniff of it, you're already starting to see the consequences of the life that you've lived already. Like suddenly things all make sense. No matter how old you are, you start to realize, oh my God, it is all about the now. Everything in my life has led up to this very moment now. All the trauma, all the work, all the tragedy, all the love, all the loss of love, all the seeming fatedness, it all makes sense when you take it right into the now and you see it as your own fate unfolding in front of you. Even if it's just very, very, very vague at this point, it doesn't matter. You're aware of it now. So to me, this is very good news for you, Libra. Gives you a chance to actually get on board with this kind of stuff. And if you're not, you know, spiritually a big wave surfer, so to speak, this is like an indication that you might be feeling the call to get into this more and understand what this really means, not just for your own benefit, but because it's so cool and it's good for others. And then you can hang out with others who think you're cool too, and you can think they're cool, and you can grow together, nourishing yourselves, appreciating each other, learning and teaching from each other. So how do you do this? How do you tap into your energy? You tap into the now, and this is where all your power lies. So you execute your power through activating your right and privilege to make decisions. So with the judgment card here, I think we had this here in another reading. I forgot, but I think we did. To me, this feels like a very loud, like, message coming into your head saying, bang, 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 wake up, Libra. Wake up, Libra. This is your time. It's time to redeem yourself, like whatever is holding you back in the past that you are holding, that you are like clinging onto, that has either crippled you or debilitated you or left you confused or lost or completely oblivious and unaware of what we've just been talking about here. Bammo, you are released, you are free, and you do this to yourself by acknowledging the little sniffs that you've been getting. You're thinking, wow, this is what I really want to do. This is where I want to go. This is how I want my life to unfold from now. This, I can see now, is for real. I have a real chance for this to happen in my life. Who knows? You might actually end up being an instrument of the healing power of love. Who knows? You might be an instrument of love and healing, and you don't even know that yet. And you're just embarking on this epic new journey. And it can be very liberating for you once you realize, oh my gosh, that is so cool how all this stuff works. All the astrology, all the tarot, all the events that you've had in your life, magical events that led you up to this very moment where you're watching this tiny little video for a few minutes here out of your life, and you're realizing this was meant to happen. This is liberating. This is freedom. It's your chance to like just imagine you're wheelchair bound. You can just say, you know what? I don't need this freaking wheelchair anymore. Maybe you're living with, spiritual canes, spiritual wheelchairs, spiritual blindfolds, spiritual impediments that are so like bound around you that you just assumed or were there forever. And now you have a chance to release and forgive and let go. You can liberate yourself through your own decisions. You can liberate others. Others can liberate you through the healing power of your decisions. Oh my God, who knew? Well, now you know, Libra. It's actually happening. So it could be kind of a shocking revelation to you. All the redemption, the forgiveness, please understand that in order to liberate yourself too and really enjoy the freedom, it can imply that you need to liberate others who have bindings and holdings on you. In other words, if there are huge irreparable debts and damages that are just grinding away inside of you, bitterness, resentment, ancient grudges, it's time to release all of that. Say goodbye to it all, because it doesn't help anybody. It's just a huge amount of wasted energy. So it's very, very hard to do that because we can be very, very tightly identified with our wounds, our pain, our suffering, our history of the past. But we're looking forward into the future now, okay? So how do you forgive and forget effectively so that you are liberated? How do you do that? Okay, so you can tap into this good vibe that's happening here. Okay. My feeling is to allow yourself to freak out. With the Hanged Man here, we've got a lot of really big cards for you, Libra. My feeling here is that, again, it's almost like you've stumbled on a fateful situation, place environment that's actually very nutritious for you, which is very liberating for you. But it does mean having to release yourself and liberate yourself from whatever that was constraining you, that requires forgiveness in order to move on. And that can be very disorienting. In other words, it's like you or Libra saying, oh, wait a minute, Tarot Illumination. You're telling me I have to just bless my enemies and forgive and forget all of that stuff? Do you have any idea, Tarot Illumination, how those people reamed me, how they screwed me over, and how my life was ruined, and how everything was messed up, all the horrible things that happened, and because of them and that and then and this and this? And then Tarot Illumination says, yeah, that's what you got to release. That's what you have to redeem. That's what you have to forgive. Because so long as that stuff is simmering inside of you, it owns you. Do you want to be owned by that junk, that toxic garbage? No. So it could be very, very trippy. So all I'm suggesting here is it means having to learn how to, for now, just live as if. Live as if you understand this stuff. Even if you're a highly advanced spiritual being and you're seeing this and you're saying, it's okay, TL, I know exactly what you're talking about. We're cool. I get it. I get it. Now keep going. All I'm suggesting here is that if you don't quite get this stuff, it's time to allow yourself to feel completely confused if you need to. And don't worry about it, because anyone and everyone else who's been here or where we are right now, they've been through this as well. They've had to go through this as well. And that's part of the teaching and the learning experience. In other words, when you're hanging out with the right people, let's just say you come to Sunday Night Live and you're kind of a newbie and all these wonderful people are there and you're telling your story and they welcome you and it's a big laugh and it's a big hoot, and you reveal that you had some hideous tragedies and some people really blew you over and messed things up for you. Guess what happens? Everyone else is going to turn on you and say, you know what? That's exactly what happened to us in our own way. Welcome to our little club. Welcome. You belong now. And we have all redeemed ourselves. We have all forgiven. And all we care about now is the love. This is the only thing that counts. Nobody can touch us. Nobody can hurt us, okay? Only you can hurt yourself. So Libra kind of goes, okay. All right, if you say so. And then they say, yeah, we say so. Okay, cool. And then you kind of go, okay. So I am going to have to allow myself to feel comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. Okay. And then everybody says, yes, exactly that. And you kind of go, okay, I guess that's the plan. I guess that's what the team is telling me. Okay, cool. So consequently, you end up with emotional mastery. You eventually, if you fake it till you make it with all this stuff, even if you're a complete newbie to all this stuff, this wouldn't be here. The channel wouldn't be alive or growing unless this kind of esoteric healing environment did exist. It does exist. It is for real, and it's here for you as much for anybody else. So once you get into the flow, even if at first you just kind of have to fake it till you make it, pretend you're the new person at class or something, and everyone's like doing their thing and they're all cool, and you don't have a clue, and you're trying to, do your cool yoga moves, and you're trying to do your juicing and fasting, and you're trying to learn how to meditate and get your crystals and your cool yoga wardrobe sorted out. Okay, fine. That might feel very weird at first, but eventually you don't have to do all that stuff. I'm just trying to tell a story, give you an example. Once you realize that this is a formula, then it takes you to a level of emotional mastery. Wow, how cool is that? Like, this is the official credential that you need. You need your certificate of emotional mastery, self-respect, self-love, proof like you have a badge that says love thyself. And then that's how you get this. Okay? So then, how cool is that? How cool is that? Now, let's just say you're having a really rough day and you say, you know what, TL, this stuff is a total pile of BS. I'm going back to my day job. Screw all you lunatics. And then they all say, ha, 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 ha. I'll see you next week. Ha, 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 ha. And you kind of go, yeah, healing power of no to you. You. Okay. Let's just say you're in one of those really funky days. Let's just say, where was it? Let's just say you're having a really rough time around June 20th and June 21st. And this is just not working for you. Okay, what does that look like? Okay, complete loss, complete utter loss of all the love and the happiness that is yours by divine right, by your choice, through the healing power of love, expressing love through forgiveness and blessings. And you say to yourself, wait a minute, I'm a Libra, it's all about fairness. That's not fair. You're not being fair, Tarot Illumination. And then everyone else at Tarot Illumination Love Tribe says, oh, oh, Libra, Libra, Libra. It's perfectly fair. It's perfectly natural. That's exactly how the universe works. And you kind of go, what? What? Wait a minute. So what happens when you get it right and you do understand the formula and you do act on this stuff, even though it doesn't make much sense at first, and you're living and learning as you go along, what happens? You get this. You actually start to invest in yourself and build love like you own it. Okay? Live it like you love it. Think of that as a little bumper sticker for your life. Okay? Live it like you love it. Or another one, love it or leave it. Okay? You know, I'm not telling you to jump off a bridge or anything. All I'm trying to suggest is that if you don't like it here, you know, there's plenty of other channels and other stuff to do. But if you're here, please love it. Please, please share everything that you have. Bring yourself to us. We'll bring us to you. And that's how you can own the love. You can become an owner. You can have shares, okay? And be very proud of that. And nobody can take that from you except unless you give it away, okay? So what about momentum here? Okay. My feeling is that what will happen is that the deeper and deeper you go into this stuff, as trippy and as weird as it might be for you, the more and more you get into it, the more you realize how you are the source of your own undoing through lose-lose confrontations. Every time you doubt yourself, every time you undermine yourself, every time your ego tries to prove that it's right over the heart, you lose. And you realize, oh my gosh, it's very important to remember. In other words, this isn't just a sort of a happy fairy tale here. This is serious, hardcore reality. And it becomes very, very important to realize all day, every day, that when you're making these decisions, you have the right to completely undermine yourself if you want to. So do you really want to do that? Do you really want to get involved in futile conflict? Or do you want to just activate the formula and make the decision to love thyself first, to activate the healing power of love, to get it to work and flow into your life? It's up to you. It's your decision. Okay? Don't waste it. That's all I'm suggesting. Okay? I'll leave it at that, Libra. Please watch for your sun, moon, and rising, especially if they're all different. I hope you can see all this. There is your heart aura here, and there's the heart at the very core. Bye-bye now. Thank you. Have a super June. Bye-bye.